Hello once again, Hurricane fans. Thank you for joining us today, whether you're following us on our YouTube channel at GSW Athletics or the internet home of the Hurricanes, gswcanes.com. We welcome you. I'm joined today by the head coach of the Lady Hurricanes softball team, Eddie Ward. Coach Ward, thanks for giving us a few minutes before we head into what will be a big homestand for the ladies coming up. We'll touch on that in just a moment, but anyway, thank you for joining us today.
Hey, no problem. Thank you very much.
Lady Hurricanes come to Americas now with a 2-4 mark. I'm sure obviously not the record you intended to have, but some highs, some lows for the Lady Hurricanes in that first the first 4 games being on a neutral site, and then 2 games up at Albany State here earlier in the week. If you will, real quick, Coach, just give us kind of a recap on where we're at this point in the season.
Well, we're young, and when I say young, we've got 6 seniors, but we've got actually 8 new ball players or new team members. Yes, to be 2-4 be an understatement to say we're not disappointed, because we are. We let a game get away from us up in Milledgeville. Then we didn't show up for the second game because we were up in our heads there. And then we played extremely well offensively against Queens. We had 26 hits in 2 ball games. I mean, the team is going to be very entertaining for people to watch. I think we're going to hit the ball quite a bit. And our pitching, we should be 6-0. If you look at our pitching line, we have a team ERA now of 1.99. We pitched well enough at Albany State the other day. We just did not adjust and hit. And Albany State, they were better. They've always had a good team. They swing the bat well, but I expect every time that we play Albany State that we should beat Albany State. I expect every time we play Catawba or Queens that we should beat those teams. Both those teams were in the Conference Carolinas, finished well behind Erskine and Carson Newman last year, who we swept. So I really had envisioned for us to get off to a really good, fast start. And for one reason or the other, and you know how humbling sports are, we're not. And our biggest problem was our errors. And hopefully we corrected that in our practices leading up to this home weekend.
Yeah, the Lady Hurricanes, as we had mentioned, are home this weekend. They actually play 6 games in a span of 4 days. So it all starts on Saturday, which is tomorrow now. Our homecoming on campus, so hopefully it'll be a great environment. An opening day doubleheader ladies home opener doubleheader anyway. For the Hurricanes, Young Harris is going to be in town. Game time for that is at 2 p.m. Doubleheader, so 2 and 4 is what we're looking at for start time. So Young Harris, a team that will be joining the Peach Belt Conference next season. So we'll have some familiarity, and you probably I take it, have we played them in the past?
Well, we played them one time in the fall a couple of years ago when they were still junior college. Young Harris has always had a good program. I knew from the get-go that they were going to be allowed into the Peach Belt once they were over that hurdle getting into Division II. I purposely put them on the schedule for that reason. We're also going to go up and play them later on in the year during our spring break. But I anticipate Young Harris to come in and be some stiff competition for us. But I'll be quite honest with you, I expect us to sweep when we're at home.
Sure, and you follow that up the next day with Rollins College out of Florida, another strong
perennial top 10, perennial.
So that'll be some great competition on Sunday. Those start times are at 12:30 and 2:30. A day off finally, and then Tuesday you take on West Georgia, who had I think they were picked 7th in their conference, but they had a real strong showing against Albany State to open up the season at Albany State. So I would imagine all of those you go in with the expectation that they're winnable games, but definitely some good competition coming to Americas.
Well, there again, I expect when we're at home, and I tell the girls, we need to sweep at home. Rollins will be a tough task because they are a perennial top 10, but I feel like we're that strong this year with the addition of the new players. West Georgia is going to be under a new coach. Coach Swanson is no longer there. I think the young lady that coached at Lynn last year is there. So, and the scores where they handily took care of Albany State were a little skewed by the fact that Albany State had 11 errors in 2 ball games. And you wouldn't have believed that if you'd have seen how they played against us, because they were flawless in their defense. So hopefully we'll catch them on the road here, and we'll be able to take care of business, because we turn around and play them again on a weekend at their place, West Georgia, that is. So, and Rollins is annually comes up here and plays to get regional competition, because they are a top 10 program.
And you had mentioned all the newcomers earlier
Right.
to the program, and some good things from those newcomers over this past weekend. I'll just touch on a few of them, Coach, but feel free to kind of expand, tell me a little bit more about these girls. But, you know, on the offensive side of the ball, Rachel McElroy came out of the weekend with a .333, and I think she's got an interesting story, right, about her first collegiate at-bat, Coach? Is that
Well,
right?
she joined a club of a lot of major leaguers, and just like Jason Hayward, when he was a rookie coming in, first pitch, first at-bat, first home run, first RBI. Yeah, you know, it's amazing. And she crunched the ball, because at Georgia College, it's not a cheap home run ballpark. It's deeper than our home ballpark. So, and I believe, I may be wrong, but in competition, including her high school and travel ball, that was Rachel's first home run.
Okay.
So, but we knew when we recruited Rachel that we were getting a class act. She is a 5-tool player. She's very heady. Her softball IQ is off the chart. As far as being a freshman, you would think that she was a senior out there at the field. And she's been a wonderful teammate. As I sit back and look at the kids, she has just fit in like a glove with everybody. Rachel had a great weekend up there. She had a pretty bad day, but most all of us did in Albany, and that was adjusting to the pitching. I think coming out of the weekend, she was almost batting .500. So she did extremely well against Division II competition.
Great, and that's encouraging. Another freshman, Miss Ashley Cavender. She
Yes.
came out of the weekend, a freshman as well. She's currently hitting .294. Not only on the not only those young freshmen that have come in, but you also got some great transfers that have contributed right away as well. So you look at on the pitching side, Brittany Dennison, a local product, if you will, from just down the road in Lee County. What else? You know, how has everything been going with that? Obviously, some good contributions early on. Tell me a little bit more about the newcomers, both the transfers as well as the freshmen.
Sure. Well, Brittany came to us via Darton, where she had played the last 2 years. Brittany is a fearless hitter. That's what I liked about her from the get-go. She was also, in high school, was a highly touted pitcher. She did get down to Darton, however, and for one reason or the other, she didn't pitch that much. She was more of a outfielder and designated player. Then she suffered a shoulder injury her sophomore year, and she's still having a little problems with that after surgery this past summer. But Brittany has come in and has done an excellent job. She threw a one-hitter down there at Albany State, so that'll tell you how we got beat, was with errors. But Brittany's been a wonderful surprise. Ashley Cavender has just been more than I had anticipated with her coming in. She really is a strong hitter. Then we've got Avery Purser, our first baseman. She came in from Georgia College. She's a JUCO transfer. Avery has probably one of the prettiest swings I've ever seen. Her mechanics are flawless. She's gonna have a relatively high batting average at the end of the year. I think she had a over 400 average coming out of the weekend. And then we have Jana Anderson at short. Jana's sure-handed shortstop. If you looked at our stats, you might not think that, but Jana turns a double play as good as anybody I've ever seen. She has a lot of pop and power in her bat. But Jana injured her glove hand, right at the bottom of her palm, right where a bat would fit, and right where the glove would fit. And it's been an injury that's bothered her and hampered her, but be quite honest with you, I would much rather have her at shortstop at 70% than a lot of people at 100%. So, and let's see if I don't want to miss anybody.
Going down the list, but I
know I have because I brought in so many.
You've got Kylie got a few games. She got
Kylie Doster is going to help us quite a bit. Jessica Tuning, a senior catcher, is having a little knee problem right now. Nothing that's serious that we think. Kylie's going to be thrust right in there, and I think she is able to stand up to that challenge. We're going to have to work on her hitting because she is a freshman coming in, and it is a big step up. Division II pitching is a far cry from what they were having to face in high school, as well as a lot of their travel ball. Even though in travel ball they play at a high level. But Kylie will fit in and do just fine for us.